It's birthday bourbon review day. Let's see if we like it. Let's see if we don't. Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review this year's birthday bourbon.
Yeah. So this actually was a lot harder to get than normal. Like, they're always hard to get, but for us in our area, there's some ways because they drop and all at once, blah, blah, blah. And they just didn't drop like how they used to.
They really didn't.
Actually, I take it back. They did finally drop at Liquor Barn, but I was at work.
Yeah, and I think I was at work too. I think I was doing.
Well, you live 45 minutes away.
That is true. That's true.
So
if it drops, I'm missing out.
That is
like if
true.
the drop has already happened, I'm missing out.
That is true. But we did get to borrow one, so we don't own this. So if we do love this by chance, unless we end up getting one this year, it won't be for our end of the year bourbon.
Yeah.
We forgot Glenn's. All right, forgot Glenn's. Now we got Glenn's.
And our liquid.
It also helps if you remember to, hit the record button whenever you go back to start pouring.
All those things.
Anyways, so
let's hit the like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, do all that good stuff. We always appreciate it, and we love our interactions. So,
yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
So, little stats on this year's birthday. It is 12 years old. It is 96 proof. Obviously, we all know it's from Old Forester. The mash bill is 72% corns, 18% rye, and then I think it's, I guess that would be 10% malted barley. Doing math right? Doing math? I think that's about right.
Yeah.
MSRP is $170. If you find it for $170, congrats, because that's a steal.
Yeah, that is a steal. Because I feel like Liquor Barn was like $220 something.
Yeah, and I think Cox's is like $250.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing probably Kroger would be the closest to retail.
Honestly, so that if you could be lucky enough to stumble into that, which we all know that ain't happening.
So, little transparency here. Dave and I had this once.
I had like a quarter of a pour somewhere. Wasn't very much.
So Dave and I, we helped fresh crack this down there at Nulu, I think day that, or no, maybe it wasn't fresh crack. It was like, hadn't been open for even a day.
Yeah.
And we had it, and I did not like it.
Yeah. I feel like I think I was the same way. Like I didn't get enough of it to really feel like.
Did we split a pour?
I feel like there were I feel like there were like four of us that shared a pour.
I can't remember.
Because there were four of us up.
Well, it was during Breakfast Club. There was a bunch of us there.
Yeah.
But. So I'm getting like a raspberry tart.
Okay. I don't hate that nose on it.
Something that I don't smell this time that I smelled last time. So, as I always take notes on my phone whenever I go try something for the first time. And one of the things that I absolutely hated about this was it was like a Dickel sour point on the nose. And I hated that.
Yeah, I don't smell that on there this time.
I don't smell it on there at all.
No. Maybe that was just the fresh crackness of it.
I don't know, but it was something.
The neck pour, like everybody likes to.
By the way, if anybody's ever upset about the neck pour, here's what you do. No more neck pour. You're good.
It still
solves all problems.
Still collects right there at it.
Solves all your problems.
It's like a black and tan. It always separates.
I guarantee you there's going to be somebody in the comments that just wants to hate on that.
It's like I do smell the fruits in there. Now that you said raspberry, I kind of can't get that out of my nostrils. But it's oaky on that.
There's like a little bit of like a butter whipped cream there, like buttermilk whipped cream.
Yeah.
Also caramel. I feel like there's a real, like, that strong, traditional, like, bourbon note of caramel that is just sitting right there present for it.
All right.
Smidge of oak. That tastes absolutely nothing like the nose on there.
I agree. I was going to say the same thing. I agree with that. I think there's some leather in there.
Yeah, but not like a good leather way. There's like a Fig Newton cookie in there. It's very drying. There's some like maple syrup notes in there. A little char. little bit of char.
Yeah. There's like a... I don't really know how to... It's like a... I can't put my finger on that. What to say on the palate of that, like what that taste is. It's like a...
There's a lot of oak tannins on there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. A lot of oak really comes out on the palate, on the front side of that palate.
I think it's drying. It definitely has a little bit of that char on the back end of it too.
There's a little bit of like a mixed like nut bowl in there.
Yeah.
Like a holiday, like...
It's not a long finish, but it's 96 proof, so you don't expect it to be a long finish.
Actually, I think the finish is longer than what a lot of birthdays I can think of outside of like 21. I felt like 21 actually had like a really long finish.
Yeah.
It does coat really well, but it is drying.
It lacks a little bit of the sweetness that I like on the front end, but I think it's just because it's the, those fruits are more like a raspberry, and it's a darker fruit kind of. Honestly, I hated this the first time because I felt like
okay, so that I agree with.
I feel like the cherry was really heavy on that first pour. I don't like it. It seemed medicinal before. I don't get that now. Like I don't get the medicinal palate that I did before. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't hate this. And I know there have been lots of people poo-pooing on this one.
I don't like it.
For whatever reason. I don't love it. Like, I'm not saying that I love it, but I'm not gonna... I didn't like last year's at all.
But why did you not like last year's at all?
There was just nothing about it that I really like, that even my palate even liked, that I remember.
So I remember last year's being very muted, very flat.
Maybe that's what it is.
This comes off like it comes off like a little chalky on the finish. It comes off a little like there is like a leather note on there, which I agree with, but it's not like it's like a, and sounds really weird because like when we talk sometimes about leather notes, like there's a good version of that and there's a bad version of that.
There's a good and bad version of all these. Like cherry is a good note, but once it
goes too far.
Once it goes medicinal, then it's on that bad side.
I can't get away from the oak tannins in this that just I don't care for.
I don't know that I would like. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
That's fair.
That's at $170 to $250,
well,
like that becomes like I can get better out of that.
Tell me you don't smell a little bit of like a dill pickle in there. I think that sour note is back.
I mean, it's a twinge.
If you're trying it right now, like if you have a sample of it and you're trying it, give it a little airtime and then just come back to it and just see if you get a little bit of that dill pickle note, which is so weird.
And I don't know if this is because this is the first drink of the day for me, but I I can still feel it. So it's got a little more staying power than I initially thought. Like, because the first few drinks was just kind of like it went away. But the more I've drank it, the more it's kind of staying right here at my throat, which I don't mind. And I don't mind the drying, and I don't mind the little bit of leather note in there. And so all in all, I would be like, listen, try it at a bar. You're gonna spend probably $40 to $50
probably
on a pour, and then determine whether you want to buy it or not. Because these are hit or miss, and some people will love this, and some people will hate it. Like, I mean, you got two of us right here. I don't know that he hates it, but he doesn't love it. He doesn't like it.
I wouldn't say like I hate it. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst thing.
It's something, I'll be honest with you, like I wouldn't want to crack it open and drink on it. Like, I'll give you a prime example. So last night I was having a conversation with a store manager that I know, and we were talking about end of the year stuff, and was like, would birthday be one of them that you would want? And I was like, no. Like, I would rather gamble knowing said person had a birthday bourbon.
Yeah.
And hold off on that.
Yeah.
And hope for something different, either equal or better.
Yeah. If I was holding on for something at the end of the year, and they were like, you can have this, or you could have Four Roses LE or a King of Kentucky, I would 100%.
Yeah, it's not even. It's not even debatable. Like, whenever you're.
But if you were only offered this and you want an end of the year allocation, you're gonna take it.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying,
even though we don't, I mean, we've told you before, like, we don't necessarily hunt after these. If these show up in front of us,
I'll say this: if it's
I would buy it.
If it's the right year, if it's the 2021, which I still never got, I would totally hunt for one of those because I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It was awesome.
Amazing. Yep. But yeah, just to me, look, I mean, you guys know, like, I apologize for Old Forester more than anybody. This doesn't scream me Old Forester. It doesn't scream the best of me to Old Forester, in my opinion.
No, it's always going to be President's Choice. Always.
Yeah, but I think
until something else changes.
But I think they can do a better job even with birthday, to where some of those, whenever those birthdays hit right, they rival those.
Yeah.
So, but again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you've had it. Tell us what you think. Obviously, our opinions differ just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us love it, but I like it a little bit more than he likes it. So tell us what you think, and till next time.
We'll see you.
We'll see you.